imagine the roar of colossal machines echoing through vast, shadowy halls where the air hums with electric tension. Steel giants clash and grind, forging not weapons, but something far more addictive, the perfect chocolate bar. Hidden from the world, in factories that pulse like living hearts, raw chaos is tamed into irresistible perfection. This is no ordinary kitchen, it's a battlefield of fire, precision, and unyielding speed. Welcome to the secret world of Snickers creation, where every second counts, and failure isn't an option. Buckle up, we're diving in. What appears as a simple treat on your store shelf is the survivor of a brutal gauntlet, a symphony of calculated risks and split-second decisions. But words alone won't convince you. Let me pull back the veil, thrust you into the frenzy where cocoa beans wage war against time, and human ingenuity battles the elements to craft the ultimate indulgence. Picture this, deep in the equatorial jungles, under a canopy so thick it blocks the sun, the journey begins with a single pod. Cocoa trees thrive in that narrow band around the Earth's waist, 20 degrees north and south of the equator, where heat and humidity conspire to nurture life. West Africa reigns supreme, with Ivory Coast and Ghana churning out over half the world's cocoa, shadowed by powerhouses like Indonesia, Brazil, and Ecuador. The harvest? Pure grit. No machines here, just calloused hands and keen eyes. Each tree yields a meager 30 to 40 pods annually, ripening in unpredictable waves. Farmers patrol like sentinels, tapping each pod with a gentle knock. A hollow echo? It's ready. But hesitate, and the pod rots or sprouts, dooming the beans inside. The clock starts ticking the moment the pod is plucked. Within 24 hours, it must be cracked open, or mold creeps in like an invisible thief. Swing a machete, and the pod splits, revealing a treasure, 30 to 50 beans nestled in sticky, sugar-laden pulp called mucilage. This isn't waste, it's the spark for fermentation, where wild yeasts and bacteria feast, unlocking flavors that will define the chocolate soul. The beans ferment in heaps or boxes, sweating under banana leaves, temperatures soaring to 50 degrees Celsius. Acids brew, bitterness mellows, and precursors to that deep, addictive taste awaken. But push it too far, and the batch sours. It's a high-stakes dance, monitored by experts who sniff and taste, deciding when to halt the alchemy. From the farms, the fermented beans travel to drying beds, spread thin under the relentless sun or in mechanical dryers when rain threatens. Moisture plummets from 60% to 7%, locking in stability. Too wet? Mold strikes again. Too dry? Brittleness ruins the roast. Shipped in massive sacks across oceans, they arrive at the factory gates, where the real transformation ignites. First, a rigorous inspection. Beans are sieved, magnets snatch metal shards, air blasts away dust and stones. Only the worthy proceed. Now, enter the roasters, hulking cylinders that spin like infernal drums, heating beans to 120 to 150 degrees Celsius. The air thickens with the aroma of awakening chocolate, as Maillard reactions caramelize sugars and proteins, birthing nutty, earthy notes. But precision is king, over roast, and bitterness overwhelms. Cooled swiftly, the beans crack under rollers, shells shattering like eggshells in a whirlwind of winnowing fans. What's left? Pure nibs, the heart of cocoa, ground into a thick, molten liquor under immense pressure. This cocoa liquor is the foundation, a bitter elixir split into cocoa butter, silky fat, and cocoa solids, the powdery essence of flavor. For Snickers, it's milk chocolate we crave, so the liquor blends with milk powder, sugar, and extra cocoa butter in massive mixers. The mixture churns, a viscous river, but it's rough, gritty. Enter refining. Rollers crush it finer than flour, particles shrinking to 20 microns or less, invisible to the tongue. Yet flavor hides, locked away. That's where crunching storms in, a marathon of kneading in heated vats, sometimes for 72 hours in premium runs. Blades scrape and aerate, volatilizing harsh acids, oxidizing precursors into smooth, rounded bliss. The chocolate transforms from grainy paste to velvety liquid, flavors blooming like a symphony reaching crescendo. Temperature dances between 60 and 80 degrees, too hot and it scorches, too cool and it thickens prematurely. Emulsifiers like lecithin join the fray, binding fat and solids into eternal harmony. But Snickers isn't just chocolate, it's a layered legend. At its core, nougat, that airy, chewy throne for caramel and nuts. Sugar and glucose syrup boil with water in gleaming kettles, temperatures climbing to exact points, 118 degrees for soft chew, higher for firmness. Whip in stabilizers, perhaps egg whites or plant proteins, foaming into a cloud that's light yet sturdy. Flavorings fold in, vanilla whispers, honey hints, emulsified flawlessly to avoid greasiness. Deposited as a continuous ribbon on cooled belts, it sets just enough, a foundation ready for the onslaught. Above it, caramel cascades, a golden torrent born from sugar, butter, and milk, cooked in vacuum kettles to evade burning. Corn syrup tempers the crystals, ensuring smoothness that clings without sticking. Heated to 115 to 120 degrees, it's poured hot over the nougat, fusing in a steamy embrace. Cool too slow, and it crystallizes gritty, rush it, and layers separate. Timing is everything in this molten ballet. Now, the crunch, peanuts, the bar's rebellious edge. Sourced from sun-baked farms in the American South or Argentina, they're harvested, shelled, and dried to under 10% moisture, warding off aflatoxins, those toxic shadows. Arriving in bulk, they're roasted in continuous ovens, tumbling at 150 to 160 degrees for 20 to 30 minutes. Maillard magic strikes again, unleashing toasty depths, oils releasing for that signature snap. Cooled rapidly to halt cooking, they're chopped or left whole, calibrated for texture. Scattered over the caramel in a precise blanket, they embed like jewels in amber. The assembly line awakens, a conveyor serpent snaking through the factory, nougat bases marching forward. Caramel floods, peanuts rain down from hoppers, each nut placed with mechanical precision. Then, the chocolate enrobing, a curtain of tempered milk chocolate pours like a waterfall, coating top and bottom in a glossy armor. Tempering? That's the secret sauce, chocolate cooled and reheated in zones, crystals forming beta structures for that snap and shine. Mess it up, and bloom creeps in, white streaks marring the beauty. As bars emerge, they enter tunnels of controlled cooling, air whispering at 10 to 15 degrees to set without cracking. Sliced by guillotine blades into uniformed soldiers, they're inspected by lasers and cameras, rejects ejected in a flash. Wrapped in foil and paper by robotic arms folding at blinding speed, they're boxed, palletized, and shipped to conquer shelves worldwide. But zoom out, this isn't just mechanics, it's a global empire. Franklin Clarence Mars birthed Snickers in 1930, inspired by his family's racehorse, blending salty peanuts with sweet nougat in his Minnesota kitchen. Little did he know it'd explode into a $2 billion behemoth, outselling every other candy bar on Earth. Today, factories like the colossal one in Waco, Texas, churn out 15 million bars daily, 65% of U.S. supply from that single fortress. Over 1,000 bars per minute, 16 per second, floors gleaming sterile, air filtered to purity. Yet dangers lurk, allergens monitored with military rigor, peanuts isolated to prevent cross-contamination. Temperatures logged every minute, machinery calibrated to microns. One glitch, a belt jam, a temperature spike, and thousands of bars spoil, fortunes lost. Workers in white suits patrol like guardians, sensors blaring alerts. It's a pressure cooker where human skill meets AI oversight, predicting failures before they strike. Dive deeper into the science. Fermentation's microbes are wild cards, strains varying by region, crafting unique profiles. Ivory Coast's fruity punch versus Ecuador's floral whispers. Roasting profiles tweak for seasons, beans adapting to humidity swings. In conching, oxygen exposure fine-tunes volatiles, banishing acetic tang for cocoa nirvana. Nougat's aeration? Bubbles sized to microns for that melt-in-mouth magic, stabilizers binding water and fat in defiance of separation. Peanuts? Not mere filler, they're flavored dynamos, roasting unlocking over 300 compounds, from pyrazine's nuttiness to furan's caramel hush. Caramel's Maillard cascade mirrors it, browning proteins for depth. Chocolate's polyphenol? Antioxidants in disguise, but tempered to mask bitterness. Every layer engineered for contrast, Nougats yield against peanut crunch, caramels pull against chocolate snap. Scale amplifies the thrill, raw materials trucked in by the ton, silos towering like skyscrapers. Mixers the size of rooms whirl tons of liquor. Conveyors stretch football fields, bars racing at 300 feet per minute. Energy surges, steam boilers roaring, chillers humming, to maintain the chain. Sustainability creeps in, cocoa farms certified fair trade, reducing child labor shadows, peanuts rotated with crops to heal soil, factories recycling water, slashing waste. Variations explode the narrative, almond Snickers for nut twists, peanut butter for creamy rebellion, ice cream bars frozen in nitrogen blasts. Fun-size minis demand micro-precision, king-size giants test structural limits. Global tweaks, less sugar in Europe, spicier notes in Asia, tailor the beast. But at heart, it's survival, against spoilage, where oxygen is the enemy, wrappers barricading freshness, against imperfection, where AI eyes scan for flaws, against time, production racing demand. One bar falters, and the chain breaks. Yet it endures, a testament to ingenuity. As our journey ends, remember, that Snickers in your hand survived jungles, fires, and steel storms. It's not candy, it's conquest. Next time you bite, feel the layers yield, taste the triumph. The factory never sleeps, the battle rages on. What other secrets hide in your pantry? Stay tuned, we're just getting started.